they will probably urge you from putting any of these pieces directly into the game because of that risk.
How does Stable Diffusion actually work? Because we have the recent lawsuit filed by three amazing artists. It's a class action lawsuit about the artwork pretty much being stolen from artists and protect the artists. But it feels like Stable Diffusion doesn't really work like a collage service like it is identified in the lawsuit. Like, can somebody help me understand how does Stable Diffusion work and how actually it utilizes the artworks or gets inspired by them? Indra, do you want to chime in?
Sure, I can jump in. I think there's multiple things to talk about here. Number one being that AI is in general so much broader than stable diffusion, as in the diffusion models are great. They've been very powerful. They've, provided us a lot of fundamental advances, but at the same time, the amount of AI applications that can serve game developers and artists goes much broader than that. I feel like that's point number one. Point number two is, yeah, I do think that the whole framework of seeing it as a collage tool is slightly technically underinformed. But at the same time, and this is full disclosure here, I'm advising the folks that are bringing that lawsuit on the technical aspects and how to frame that better. And there's definitely, some technical questions that have no legal framework surrounding them today. And when we want to talk technical aspects, I guess it's interesting because there's definitely a great problem-solving aspect to artificial intelligence, where we have the capacity to internalize whole concepts rather than specific like overfit concepts of a particular image or an object, but rather understand what a forest is versus an elven village and something like that. And those are incredibly powerful in generating ideas. And I feel that the capacity for that is very strong in diffusion models as well, and they can be quite helpful with that. And so, yeah, that part particularly does not necessarily warrant sort of a collage descriptor, because the comprehension that we're getting is much more broad, is much more general, and in that sense, much more empowering. I think the risks or the concerns that people have is that there's a non-zero chance that this model will generate and a piece of art that, if it was generated by a human, you could quite legally be sued for intellectual property infringement or plagiarism.
No, 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 no.
And so I feel like that is the scarier part, because if you talk to any enterprise company out there that has a sufficient legal department today, they will probably urge you from putting any of these pieces directly into the game because of that risk. Because if you're investing $100 million to $1 million into a product, you put it on the shelves, maybe even print some Blu-rays, and then all of a sudden it has somebody else's intellectual property in there through the process of getting it out of this neural network. You're going to be in trouble. You're going to be liable. You're not going to be able to get enough damages or compensations from whoever used it or put it in there.